Hello and welcome to Shimba channel. I'm a Japanese native and beginner English learner. Today, I'll talk about a unique part of Japanese school life, Bukatsu, or school club activities in junior high and high school. Do schools in your country have something similar? Let's find out as we go along. In Japan, junior high and high schools have extracurricular activities called Bukatsu. These are school-run clubs that takes place after classes or on weekends, and they're usually divided into sports clubs and cultural clubs. Teachers act as advisors, while the students run the clubs themselves. There are leadership roles like a captain or vice captain, all filled by student. If you've watched anime or manga set in schools, you've probably seen Bukatsu. It's a very common part of the story. The number and variety of clubs depends on the school size and the facilities. If a school has fewer students, naturally it can't have as many clubs. In sports, you'll commonly see baseball, soccer, track and field, basketball, volleyball, tennis, judo, and swimming. But there are also clubs for golf, handballs, table tennis, rugby, dance, and many others. Cultural clubs are also diverse: brass band, popular music, art, calligraphy, drama, tea ceremony, go and shogi, Japanese chess, broadcasting, and research clubs, just to name a few. Truly, the variety is huge. In many schools, it's often expected that new students join a club when they enter. Being in the same Bukatsu with others naturally helps you make friends. When I entered junior high school, I also worried about which club to join. I tried out a few trial sessions to get a feel for what they're like before deciding. I ended up joining a sports club, but to be honest, I stopped going after a while and became what I call ghost member, someone who's officially in club but rarely shows up. The club I chose was relatively easygoing, so I could attend or skip depending on my mood. But in strict clubs, you can't just skip practice without a good reason. Showing up is basically expected. How about in your country? Do schools and college students join after-school club? The daily rhythm of Bukatsu is intense. Most clubs meet not just a few times a week, but almost every day. Practices depend on the type of club. Baseball clubs practice baseball. Brass band clubs practice music. Basically, everyone trains or prepares for performances and competitions. Since many sports and cultural activities have tournaments or contests, club life is often structured around preparing for those events. The details depend on the club, but usually practice is held after classes on weekdays. Many clubs also meet on weekends, either on Saturday or both Saturday and Sunday. For active clubs, there might even be morning practice before school. During long breaks like summer vacation, it's common to have training camps. Competitions and contests are often held on weekends, but for larger tournaments, they can also be held on weekdays. In such cases, students prioritize the competition and may skip classes. This is why Bukatsu often becomes the center of the student's daily life. Balancing it with studies and family time can be tough, but at the same time, the bonds with teammates grow very strong. In my own junior high days, before I stopped going, we had practice after school and on Saturdays, with occasional Sunday tournament. After school practice usually lasted 2 to 3 hours, and Saturday mornings were fully dedicated to training. It was so time consuming that eventually I got tired of it and stopped attending. While many students take part in Bukatsu, not everyone does. The reason is simple: it requires a huge time commitment. Some students already have private lessons or activities outside school, and they prioritize those. In my case, I was a ghost member in junior high and in high school. I didn't join any club at all. I actually wanted to join a cultural club, but I was placed in an advanced academic class that didn't allow club participation. Because of that, when other students were heading to club activities after school, I had additional classes. It felt like I hadn't been forced into a kind of study club. Many students also go to cram schools, juku, after regular school hours, especially in their third year when they're preparing for entrance exams. In fact, many students quit Bukatsu early in their final year so they can focus on cram school. This kind of cram school culture is common in Japan, but I've heard it's also strong in other Asian countries like China and Korea. How is it in your country? Do students spend the evening cram schools instead of clubs? One of the biggest attractions of Bukatsu is the chance to compete in tournaments or performance in contests. For clubs with a large number of participants nationwide, the scale of these competitions can be massive. Typically, teams start at the district level. If they keep winning, they move on to prefectural, regional, and finally national competitions. Baseball is one of the most popular sports in Japan, and high school baseball is no exception. The most famous tournament is Koshien, officially the National High School Baseball Championship. Every spring and summer, representative schools from across the country compete after advancing through local qualifiers. Many professional players actually got their start at Koshien, and the games are broadcast on TV as a major national event. Of course, it's not just baseball. Every sport has its own national level competitions. There's also the Inter-High, the National High School Sports Tournament, covering many disciplines. These events also get a lot of media coverage. Cultural clubs are no different. Brass band clubs aim for national contests, drama clubs compete in theater festivals, and so on. For students, these tournaments are major goals, but beyond the winning or losing, the shared effort and teamwork become lasting memories. In my own experience, our club sometimes made it to regional competitions and once reached the prefectural level. For smaller clubs with fewer participants, advancing that far isn't always so tough, but once you reach the prefectural stage, it becomes much more difficult. Personally, I never made it to past that point. Does your country also have nationwide competitions or contests for students? I'd love to hear about it. Today, I introduced the Bukatsu, the school club activities that shape so much of junior high and high school life in Japan. Bukatsu comes in many forms, from sports to cultural pursuits. And through daily practice and tournament, it strongly influences how students live, learn, and connect with others. At the same time, the heavy burden on teachers who serve as advisors remains ongoing social issues in Japan. This time, I focused mainly on explaining Bukatsu itself. In the future, I'd like to dig deeper into its challenges and the debates surrounding it. I'll continue to share more about Japanese culture and school life, so please stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions, or if you'd like to share how school activities work in your country, please leave a comment below. Your feedback really helps me improve. not just in making videos, but also in learning English. See you next time.